Understanding bedroom requests. Why your husband wants you to try new things. Written and copyright by A. Castor. Chapter 2. The Psychology of Sexual Desires. Introduction. Sexual desires are complex and influenced by various psychological factors. Understanding these factors can provide deeper insights into why certain preferences and behaviors emerge. This chapter explores the psychological underpinnings of sexual desires, examining how childhood experiences and upbringing impact sexual behavior, and delving into the role of fantasies and fetishes. By gaining a better understanding of these elements, couples can navigate their sexual relationships with greater empathy and awareness. Psychological factors influencing sexual preferences. Individual differences. Personality traits. Traits such as openness to experience, extroversion, and sensation-seeking can influence sexual preferences and willingness to explore new activities. Attachment styles. Secure, anxious, and avoidant attachment styles play a significant role in how individuals approach intimacy and sexual relationships. Secure attachment often leads to healthier sexual interactions. Cognitive factors. Sexual scripts. These are cognitive frameworks that guide sexual behavior, influenced by cultural, societal, and personal beliefs about what is considered normal or desirable in sexual interactions. Expectations and beliefs. Personal beliefs about sexuality, often shaped by societal norms and education, can impact sexual preferences and behaviors. Emotional factors. Stress and anxiety. High levels of stress and anxiety can affect sexual desire and performance, either inhibiting or, in some cases, intensifying sexual interest as a form of stress relief. Emotional intimacy. The level of emotional intimacy and connection with a partner can enhance or diminish sexual desire. Feeling emotionally close can increase comfort and willingness to explore. How childhood experiences and upbringing impact sexual behavior. Early experiences. Exposure to sexuality. Early exposure to sexual content or experiences can shape sexual preferences and behaviors. Positive or negative experiences can have lasting impacts. Parental attitudes. The attitudes and behaviors of parents towards sex and intimacy significantly influence a child's understanding and approach to sexuality. Open and healthy discussions about sex can lead to a more positive sexual outlook. Trauma and abuse. Impact of trauma. Childhood trauma or sexual abuse can profoundly affect adult sexual behavior, leading to issues such as hypersexuality, avoidance of sex, or specific fetishes and fantasies as coping mechanisms. Therapeutic interventions. Addressing past trauma through therapy can help individuals understand and potentially reframe their sexual desires and behaviors. Cultural and religious influences. Cultural norms. Cultural background plays a crucial role in shaping sexual attitudes and behaviors. Different cultures have varying norms and taboos surrounding sexuality. Religious teachings. Religious teachings and beliefs about sex can significantly influence sexual behavior, often promoting certain behaviors while discouraging others. The role of fantasies and fetishes. Understanding fantasies. Nature of fantasies. Sexual fantasies are normal and common. They provide a safe mental space to explore desires that may not be feasible or acceptable in real life. Purpose of fantasies. Fantasies can enhance sexual arousal, provide an outlet for exploring different identities, and serve as a form of mental rehearsal for desired experiences. Development of fetishes. Origins of fetishes. Fetishes often develop from early experiences or associations made between a specific object or scenario and sexual arousal. These can be reinforced over time through repeated exposure. Types of fetishes. Common fetishes include those related to specific objects, body parts, or scenarios. Integrating fantasies and fetishes in relationships. Open communication. Discussing fantasies and fetishes with a partner requires open, non-judgmental communication. Sharing these desires can enhance intimacy and trust. Mutual consent. Both partners should consent to exploring fantasies and fetishes. Establishing boundaries and safe words can ensure that both feel comfortable and respected. Conclusion. Understanding the psychology of sexual desires provides valuable insights into the complexities of human sexuality. Psychological factors, childhood experiences, and the roles of fantasies and fetishes all contribute to shaping sexual preferences and behaviors. By exploring these elements, couples can gain a deeper understanding of themselves and each other, fostering a more empathetic and fulfilling sexual relationship. Individual differences. Understanding personality and attachment styles in sexual relationships. Introduction. Individual differences play a crucial role in shaping sexual preferences, behaviors, and dynamics within relationships. Understanding these differences can help partners navigate their intimate lives more effectively. Two key areas that significantly influence sexual relationships are personality traits and attachment styles. This section delves into how these factors impact sexual preferences and willingness to explore new activities, providing insights into fostering healthier and more satisfying intimate connections. Individual differences. Understanding personality and attachment styles in sexual relationships. Personality traits. Openness to experience. Individuals high in openness to experience are often more willing to try new activities and explore diverse sexual experiences. This trait involves a curiosity about the world, creativity, and a desire for novel experiences, which can translate into a willingness to experiment in the bedroom. Impact on sexual preferences. Those with high openness may be more adventurous, seeking variety and novelty in their sexual activities. They might enjoy exploring fantasies, trying new positions, or incorporating toys and props. Communication needs. Partners with lower openness may need more reassurance and gradual introductions to new activities. Clear communication about comfort levels and boundaries is essential to ensure that both partners feel safe and respected. Extroversion. Extroverts are often outgoing, social, and energetic, which can influence their sexual preferences and behaviors. They might seek more frequent sexual interactions and enjoy activities that involve social elements or public settings. Impact on sexual preferences. Extroverts may enjoy more spontaneous and adventurous sexual experiences, often feeling energized by their partner's enthusiasm and the thrill of new encounters. Balancing needs. Partners of extroverts may need to balance their desire for frequent social interactions with the need for intimacy and privacy. Effective communication can help navigate these differences. Sensation-seeking. Individuals high in sensation-seeking are drawn to intense and novel experiences. This trait often leads to a preference for varied and stimulating sexual activities. Impact on sexual preferences. Sensation seekers may enjoy experimenting with different sensations, such as varying types of touch, role-playing, or engaging in riskier sexual behaviors. Safety considerations. Ensuring that all activities are consensual and safe is crucial when exploring the boundaries of sensation-seeking behaviors. Attachment styles. Secure attachment. Characteristics. Individuals with a secure attachment style typically feel comfortable with intimacy and are able to balance closeness and independence. They tend to have healthy self-esteem and trust in their relationships. Impact on sexual relationships. Securely attached individuals are more likely to have fulfilling and stable sexual relationships. They are open to communicating their needs and respecting their partner's boundaries, leading to mutually satisfying experiences. Anxious attachment. Characteristics. Those with an anxious attachment style often seek high levels of intimacy and approval from their partners. They may fear rejection and be overly concerned with the relationship stability. Impact on sexual relationships. Anxiously attached individuals might use sex as a way to gain reassurance and closeness, sometimes feeling insecure if their needs are not met. They benefit from partners who provide consistent affection and open communication. Avoidant attachment. Characteristics. Individuals with an avoidant attachment style often value independence and may feel uncomfortable with too much closeness. They might have difficulty trusting others and prefer to keep emotional distance. Impact on sexual relationships. Avoidantly attached individuals might struggle with intimacy and may avoid sexual activities that require emotional vulnerability. They benefit from partners who respect their need for space and approach intimacy gradually. Balancing attachment styles. When partners have differing attachment styles, understanding and accommodating each other's needs is crucial. For example, a securely attached partner can help an anxious partner feel more secure, while also respecting an avoidant partner's need for independence. Conclusion: understanding individual differences in personality traits and attachment styles is essential for navigating sexual relationships effectively. Personality traits like openness to experience, extroversion, and sensation-seeking can significantly influence sexual preferences and behaviors. Meanwhile, attachment styles play a crucial role in how individuals approach intimacy and sexual relationships. By recognizing and respecting these differences, partners can create a more harmonious and satisfying intimate life, fostering deeper connections and mutual respect. Effective communication and empathy are key to balancing these individual differences and ensuring a healthy, fulfilling relationship. Cognitive factors: influences on sexual behavior and preferences. Introduction: cognitive factors play a significant role in shaping sexual behavior and preferences. These factors encompass the mental frameworks and beliefs that guide how individuals perceive and engage in sexual interactions. Two key cognitive factors include sexual scripts and expectations and beliefs. This section explores how these cognitive frameworks influence sexual behavior and preferences, providing insights into their origins and impacts on intimate relationships. Cognitive factors: influences on sexual behavior and preferences. Sexual scripts: cognitive frameworks guiding sexual behavior. Definition and origin. Sexual scripts are cognitive frameworks that outline the expected sequence of behaviors and roles in sexual interactions. These scripts are influenced by cultural, societal, and personal beliefs about what is considered normal or desirable in sexual encounters. Cultural influences. Cultural norms and values play a significant role in shaping sexual scripts. Different cultures have varying expectations regarding sexual behavior, gender roles, and expressions of intimacy. Societal influences. Societal, including media portrayals of sexuality, education, and peer influences, contribute to the development of sexual scripts. Influences can shape individuals' perceptions of what is appropriate or expected in sexual interactions. Impact on sexual behavior. Sexual scripts influence how individuals approach and engage in sexual activities. They provide a roadmap and during sexual encounters. Role expectations. Sexual scripts often include specific roles for each partner, such as who initiates sex, what types of activities are considered acceptable, and how pleasure is expressed and prioritized. Behavioral patterns. These scripts can create predictable patterns of behavior, which can be comforting but may also limit spontaneity and exploration in sexual relationships. Examples. Common sexual scripts might dictate activity, while women should be more passive or receptive. These scripts can influence how both partners feel their roles and behaviors in the bedroom. Expectations and beliefs, shaping sexual preferences and behaviors. Personal beliefs. Individual beliefs about sexuality, often shaped by societal norms and personal impact sexual preferences and behaviors. Educational influences. Sex education, whether formal or informal, plays a crucial role in shaping beliefs about sexuality. Comprehensive sex education can lead to more informed and healthy attitudes towards sex. Family attitudes towards sex and intimacy can influence beliefs. Open discussions about sex in the family can lead to healthier sexual attitudes. Societal norms. Societal expectations and norms about sexuality can impact how individuals view their own sexual preferences and behaviors. Media representation. Media often portray idealized or exaggerated versions of sexuality, which can create unrealistic expectations. These can shape beliefs about what is normal or desirable in sex. Peer influence. Friends and peer groups influence sexual beliefs and behaviors through shared experiences and societal pressures. Sexual expectations and beliefs about sexuality can influence what individuals find desirable or acceptable in their sexual relationships. Desire for normalcy. Individuals strive to align their sexual preferences with what they perceive as normal or desirable based on societal standards. Willingness to experiment. Those with more open and positive beliefs about sexuality may be more willing to explore new activities and experiences. Examples. A person raised in a conservative environment might initially hold beliefs that certain sexual activities are taboo or inappropriate. Over time, exposure to different perspectives and information can these beliefs lead to more openness in their sexual preferences. Cognitive factors, including sexual scripts, expectations, and beliefs, play a crucial role in shaping sexual behavior and preferences. Understanding these cognitive frameworks helps individuals recognize the influences that guide their sexual interactions and lead to healthier and more fulfilling sexual relationships. By examining and challenging societal norms, cultural influences, and personal beliefs, individuals can develop a more nuanced approach to their sexuality, fostering greater intimacy and satisfaction in their relationships. Emotional factors. Influences on sexual desire and performance. Introduction. Emotional factors significantly impact sexual desire and performance. These factors encompass the various emotional states and levels of intimacy that individuals experience, which can either enhance or inhibit sexual interest and satisfaction. This section explores how stress, anxiety, and emotional intimacy influence sexual behavior, providing insights into managing these factors to maintain a healthy and fulfilling sexual relationship. Emotional factors. Influences on sexual desire and performance. Stress and anxiety. Impact on sexual desire. High levels of stress and anxiety can significantly affect sexual desire. These emotional states can either inhibit or, in some cases, intensify sexual interest. Inhibitory effects. Chronic stress and anxiety often lead to decreased libido. The body's stress response prioritizes survival over reproduction, resulting in reduced sexual desire. This can be due to hormonal changes, mental distraction, and physical fatigue associated with stress. Intensifying effects. In some cases, individuals may turn to sex as a form of stress relief. Engaging in sexual activities can release endorphins and other feel-good hormones, providing temporary relief from stress and anxiety. Impact on sexual performance. Stress and anxiety can also affect sexual performance, leading to issues such as erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, or difficulties in achieving orgasm. Psychological distraction. The mental preoccupation with stressors can make it difficult to focus on sexual pleasure, leading to performance anxiety and reduced enjoyment. Physical effects. Stress can cause physical symptoms like muscle tension and fatigue, which can interfere with sexual performance and satisfaction. Managing stress and anxiety. Effective stress management techniques, such as mindfulness, exercise, and open communication with a partner, can help mitigate the negative impact of stress and anxiety on sexual desire and performance. Examples. Practicing relaxation techniques before engaging in sexual activities, or having open conversations about stressors with a partner, can create a more supportive and stress-free environment. Emotional intimacy. Enhancing sexual desire. The level of emotional intimacy and connection with a partner plays a crucial role in enhancing sexual desire. Feeling emotionally close to a partner can increase comfort and willingness to explore new activities. Trust and safety. Emotional intimacy builds trust and a sense of safety within the relationship. This trust allows partners to feel more comfortable expressing their sexual desires and boundaries. Mutual understanding. A strong emotional connection fosters mutual understanding and empathy, which can enhance sexual satisfaction. Partners who feel emotionally connected are more attuned to each other's needs and preferences. Diminishing sexual desire. Conversely, a lack of emotional intimacy can diminish sexual desire. Emotional distance or unresolved conflicts can create barriers to sexual connection. Emotional disconnection. When partners feel emotionally disconnected, they may experience a decline in sexual interest. This disconnection can stem from unresolved conflicts, lack of communication, or emotional neglect. Examples. Regularly nurturing emotional intimacy through activities like spending quality time together, engaging in deep conversations, and showing appreciation for each other can enhance sexual desire and satisfaction. Building emotional intimacy. Investing in the emotional aspect of the relationship can significantly improve sexual intimacy. This includes open communication, active listening, and expressing affection and gratitude. Effective communication. Regularly discussing emotions, desires, and concerns with a partner can strengthen emotional intimacy. This communication helps partners feel understood and valued, creating a more supportive and connected relationship. Shared experiences. Engaging in activities that both partners enjoy and creating positive shared experiences can also build emotional intimacy. This shared enjoyment fosters a deeper bond and enhances overall relationship satisfaction. Conclusion: emotional factors, including stress, anxiety, and emotional intimacy, play a critical role in influencing sexual desire and performance. Managing stress and anxiety through effective techniques and nurturing emotional intimacy within the relationship can lead to a more satisfying and fulfilling sexual connection. By understanding and addressing these emotional influences, couples can create a supportive and loving environment that enhances both emotional and sexual intimacy, fostering a deeper and more meaningful relationship. Early experiences, influences on sexual preferences and behaviors. Introduction: early experiences play a crucial role in shaping sexual preferences and behaviors. These formative experiences, including exposure to sexual content and parental attitudes towards sex and intimacy, have lasting impacts on how individuals perceive and engage in sexual relationships. This section delves into how early exposure to sexuality and the influence of parental attitudes contribute to the development of sexual behaviors and preferences. Early experiences, influences on sexual preferences and behaviors. Exposure to sexuality. Impact on sexual preferences. Early exposure to sexual content or experiences can significantly shape an individual's sexual preferences and behaviors. Positive exposure. Positive early experiences with sexuality, such as healthy and age-appropriate sex education, can lead to a well-rounded and informed approach to sex. These experiences help individuals develop a positive and respectful attitude towards sexuality. Negative exposure. Conversely, negative or premature exposure to sexual content, such as exposure to pornography at a young age or inappropriate sexual encounters, can lead to distorted views of sex and unhealthy sexual behaviors. Lasting impacts. The nature of early sexual experiences can have long-lasting impacts on an individual's sexual preferences and behavior patterns. Healthy development. Positive early experiences can foster healthy sexual development, leading to greater satisfaction and healthier relationships in adulthood. Trauma and confusion. Negative early experiences can result in sexual trauma, confusion, and difficulties in forming healthy sexual relationships. Examples: a person who received comprehensive sex education in a supportive environment may have a more open and positive approach to sexuality compared to someone who was exposed to sexual content without guidance or context. Parental attitudes. Influence on understanding sexuality. The attitudes and behaviors of parents towards sex and intimacy significantly influence a child's understanding and approach to sexuality. Open and healthy discussions. Parents who engage in open and healthy discussions about sex provide a foundation for a positive sexual outlook. These discussions can help demystify sex, reduce shame, and promote healthy attitudes towards intimacy. Modeling behavior. Parents also model behaviors and attitudes towards sex and intimacy. Children observe and internalize these behaviors, which can influence their own approach to relationships and sexuality. Positive parental influence. Parents who communicate openly, provide accurate information, and model respectful and loving relationships contribute to a healthier sexual development in their children. Encouraging questions. Encouraging children to ask questions about sex and providing honest and age-appropriate answers fosters a sense of trust and openness. Respecting boundaries. Teaching children about boundaries and consent from an early age helps them understand and respect their own and others' boundaries in sexual relationships. Negative parental influence. Negative parental attitudes towards sex, such as shaming or avoiding the topic, can lead to confusion, guilt, and unhealthy sexual behaviors in their children. Avoidance and shame. Parents who avoid discussing sex or who convey shameful attitudes towards sexuality may leave children feeling embarrassed or uncertain about their own sexual desires and behaviors. Misinformation. Lack of accurate information from parents can lead children to seek information from unreliable sources, potentially developing harmful beliefs and practices. Examples: a child raised in a household where sex is discussed openly and positively is likely to have a healthier and more informed approach to sexuality than a child raised in an environment where sex is considered taboo and discussions are avoided. Conclusion: early experiences, including exposure to sexual content and parental attitudes towards sex, play a pivotal role in shaping sexual preferences and behaviors. Positive and healthy early experiences can lead to a more informed and respectful approach to sexuality, while negative experiences can result in confusion and unhealthy behaviors. Understanding the impact of these early influences can help individuals recognize and address any challenges in their sexual development, fostering healthier and more fulfilling sexual relationships. By promoting open discussions and positive attitudes towards sex, parents and caregivers can significantly contribute to the healthy sexual development of their children. Trauma and abuse, understanding and healing sexual behavior. Introduction trauma and abuse, particularly during childhood, have profound and long-lasting impacts on an individual's sexual behavior and desires. This chapter explores how such experiences can shape adult sexual behavior, leading to a range of issues from hypersexuality to avoidance of sex. It also discusses the importance of therapeutic interventions in addressing past trauma, helping individuals understand and potentially reframe their sexual desires and behaviors for healthier relationships. Trauma and abuse, understanding and healing sexual behavior. Impact of trauma. Childhood trauma and sexual abuse. Childhood trauma or sexual abuse can leave deep psychological scars that affect an individual's approach to sex and intimacy. Hypersexuality. Some individuals may respond to trauma by becoming hypersexual. This can manifest as an increased and sometimes compulsive engagement in sexual activities as a way to regain control, validate self-worth, or dissociate from emotional pain. Avoidance of sex. Others may develop an aversion to sex, finding it difficult or impossible to engage in sexual activities due to fear, anxiety, or painful associations with past abuse. Specific fetishes and fantasies. Trauma can also give rise to specific fetishes and fantasies that serve as coping mechanisms. These fantasies might allow individuals to reenact scenarios in a controlled manner, thus gaining a sense of mastery over their trauma. Long-lasting effects. The impact of trauma can persist into adulthood, influencing sexual behavior, relationships, and overall mental health. Trust issues. Trauma survivors often struggle with trust in intimate relationships, making it difficult to form secure and healthy bonds. Emotional dysregulation. Emotional instability, including mood swings and difficulty managing emotions, can affect sexual relationships, leading to conflicts and misunderstandings. Therapeutic interventions. Importance of therapy. Addressing past trauma through therapy is crucial for individuals to heal and develop healthier sexual behaviors and relationships. Understanding trauma. Therapy helps individuals understand the nature and extent of their trauma and how it affects their current behavior and relationships. Reframing sexual desires. Through therapeutic intervention, individuals can explore their sexual desires and behaviors, gaining insight into how these might be linked to past trauma. This understanding can lead to healthier expressions of sexuality. Types of therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy. CBT can help individuals challenge and change unhealthy thought patterns and behaviors related to sex and intimacy. This approach focuses on developing coping strategies and building healthier sexual habits. Trauma-focused therapy. Approaches such as eye movement desensitization and reprocessing and trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy are designed specifically to address and heal trauma. These therapies can help individuals process traumatic memories and reduce their emotional impact. Sex therapy. Specialized sex therapy can help individuals and couples address sexual issues, improve communication about sex, and develop a satisfying sexual relationship. Support systems. Building a support system, including trusted friends, family, and support groups, can provide additional emotional support and understanding during the healing process. Examples. Participating in support groups for trauma survivors or seeking support from understanding friends and family members can offer a sense of community and shared experience. Conclusion. Trauma and abuse have significant and lasting impacts on sexual behavior and desires. Understanding these effects is the first step toward healing and developing healthier sexual relationships. Therapeutic interventions play a crucial role in addressing past trauma, helping individuals understand their behaviors and fostering healthier expressions of sexuality. By seeking appropriate therapy and building supportive relationships, individuals can work towards overcoming the impacts of trauma, leading to more fulfilling and secure intimate relationships. Cultural and religious influences on sexual behavior. Introduction. Cultural and religious influences are significant factors in shaping sexual attitudes and behaviors. They provide a framework within which individuals understand and express their sexuality. This chapter explores how cultural norms and religious teachings impact sexual behavior, highlighting the diversity of perspectives and practices across different cultures and religions. Cultural and religious influences on sexual behavior. Cultural norms. Role in shaping sexual attitudes. Cultural background plays a crucial role in shaping sexual attitudes and behaviors. Each culture has its own set of norms, values, and taboos surrounding sexuality. Diverse norms and taboos. Different cultures have varying norms about what is considered acceptable or taboo in sexual behavior. These norms influence how individuals perceive and engage in sexual activities. Impact on behavior. Cultural norms can dictate aspects such as premarital sex, sexual positions, use of contraceptives, and gender roles within sexual relationships. Examples of cultural variations. Western cultures, generally more open and liberal about sexual expression, with a focus on individual choice and consent. Eastern cultures often have more conservative views on sexuality, emphasizing modesty, family honor, and sometimes placing restrictions on sexual behavior, especially for women. Tribal and indigenous cultures may have unique sexual practices and beliefs that are integral to their cultural identity and social structure. Influence on sexual communication. Openness. Cultures that encourage open discussion about sex tend to have individuals who are more comfortable communicating their sexual needs and boundaries. Silence and shame. Cultures that treat sex as a taboo subject may lead to individuals feeling shame or discomfort when discussing sexual issues, which can impact sexual satisfaction and relationship dynamics. Religious teachings. Influence on sexual behavior. Religious teachings and beliefs about sex can significantly influence sexual behavior, often promoting certain behaviors while discouraging others. Prescriptions and proscriptions. Many religions provide guidelines on sexual conduct, including permissible sexual acts, the context in which sex should occur, and attitudes towards contraception, masturbation, and same-sex relationships. Moral and ethical considerations. Religious teachings often frame sexual behavior within a moral and ethical context, influencing how individuals view the morality of their own and others' sexual actions. Examples of religious teachings. Christianity generally emphasizes sex within the confines of marriage, promoting fidelity, and sometimes advocating for procreation as the primary purpose of sex. Islam, similar to Christianity, promotes sex within marriage, views it as a way to strengthen marital bonds and procreate, and has specific guidelines on sexual behavior and modesty. Hinduism has a more diverse view, with ancient texts like the Kama Sutra exploring the art of love and sex, while contemporary practices might emphasize modesty and traditional family values. Buddhism often focuses on the spiritual aspects of relationships and the importance of consent and mutual respect, with varying views on sexuality depending on the tradition. Impact on sexual health and education. Sexual health. Religious teachings can influence attitudes towards sexual health practices, including the use of contraceptives and seeking medical help for sexual issues. Sex education. The extent and nature of sex education can be influenced by religious beliefs, impacting how individuals learn about sex and develop their sexual identity. Conclusion. Cultural norms and religious teachings play a profound role in shaping sexual attitudes and behaviors. Understanding these influences helps individuals navigate their own sexual preferences and behaviors within the context of their cultural and religious backgrounds. By acknowledging and respecting these diverse perspectives, individuals and couples can foster more understanding and harmonious sexual relationships. Exploring these influences also allows for greater empathy and respect for the varied ways in which people approach sexuality, promoting a more inclusive and informed dialogue about sex and intimacy. Understanding fantasies. Exploring the mental landscape of desire. Introduction: sexual fantasies are a natural and common part of human sexuality, offering a safe and private mental space to explore desires and scenarios that might not be feasible or acceptable in real life. This chapter delves into the nature and purpose of sexual fantasies, examining how they can enhance sexual arousal, serve as a form of mental rehearsal, and provide an outlet for exploring different aspects of identity. Understanding fantasies. Exploring the mental landscape of desire. Nature of fantasies. Normal and common. Sexual fantasies are a normal part of human sexuality. Almost everyone experiences them, and they vary widely in content and intensity. Variety of fantasies. Fantasies can range from the mundane to the highly imaginative, encompassing a wide array of scenarios, partners, and activities. Personal and private. Fantasies are deeply personal and private, often reflecting individual desires, experiences, and imagination. Safe mental space. Fantasies provide a safe mental space to explore desires without the constraints of reality. Non-judgmental environment. In the realm of fantasy, individuals can explore their desires without fear of judgment, shame, or consequence. Testing boundaries. Fantasies allow individuals to mentally test the boundaries of their desires, exploring what might be exciting or arousing without actual risk. Purpose of fantasies. Enhancing sexual arousal. Fantasies can significantly enhance sexual arousal and excitement. Mental stimulation. Engaging in fantasies can heighten physical sensations and increase sexual pleasure. Variety and novelty. Fantasies introduce variety and novelty, which can be especially stimulating in long-term relationships. Exploring identities. Fantasies offer an outlet for exploring different aspects of identity and desire. Role exploration. Individuals can experiment with different roles, genders, and power dynamics in their fantasies, gaining insight into their preferences and inclinations. Expanding horizons. Fantasies can help individuals understand and accept parts of themselves that they might not feel comfortable expressing in real life. Mental rehearsal. Fantasies serve as a form of mental rehearsal for desired experiences. Preparing for real-life scenarios. By imagining certain scenarios, individuals can mentally prepare themselves for actual experiences, reducing anxiety and increasing confidence. Clarifying desires. Fantasizing about a particular activity or scenario can help individuals clarify their desires and communicate them more effectively to their partners. Conclusion: sexual fantasies are a natural and enriching aspect of human sexuality, providing a safe and private space for exploring desires, enhancing arousal, and preparing for real-life experiences. Understanding and embracing fantasies can lead to greater self-awareness and sexual satisfaction, fostering a more open and fulfilling sexual relationship. By acknowledging the role of fantasies in sexual well-being, individuals and couples can enhance their intimacy and communication, leading to a deeper and more satisfying connection. Development of fetishes. Understanding the origins and variations. Introduction: fetishes are a fascinating aspect of human sexuality, often rooted in early experiences and reinforced over time. This chapter explores the origins of fetishes, examining how certain objects or scenarios become linked to sexual arousal. It also discusses common types of fetishes, providing a deeper understanding of the diverse ways in which fetishes can manifest. Development of fetishes. Understanding the origins and variations. Origins of fetishes. Early experiences. Fetishes often develop from early experiences where a specific object, body part, or scenario becomes associated with sexual arousal. Conditioning and association. For example, a child might accidentally witness a sexually charged moment involving a particular object or scenario, creating a lasting connection in their mind. Formative events. These early experiences can be powerful, shaping sexual preferences and arousal patterns as the individual matures. Reinforcement over time. Repeated exposure to the fetish object or scenario can reinforce the association, making it a more ingrained part of one's sexual arousal. Positive reinforcement. When the object or scenario consistently produces sexual arousal or pleasure, it strengthens the fetish. Cognitive and emotional links. The repeated pairing of sexual arousal with a particular stimulus can create strong cognitive and emotional links, making the fetish a persistent element of one's sexuality. Types of fetishes. Object fetishes. These involve sexual arousal linked to specific inanimate objects. Common examples: shoes, lingerie, leather, rubber, and other materials. Psychological appeal. The texture, appearance, or symbolic meaning of these objects can enhance their arousing potential. Body part fetishes. These focus on specific body parts that elicit sexual arousal. Common examples: feet, hands, hair, ears, and muscles. Intensifying features. Certain features like shape, size, or specific physical characteristics can make these body parts particularly alluring. Scenario fetishes. These involve arousal linked to particular situations or roles. Common examples: dominance and submission, role-playing as specific characters, and scenarios involving power dynamics or specific settings. Role of imagination. The mental and emotional aspects of these scenarios often play a significant role, as individuals imagine themselves in these situations, adding layers of excitement and arousal. Conclusion: the development of fetishes is a complex interplay of early experiences, psychological conditioning, and repeated reinforcement. By understanding the origins and types of fetishes, individuals can gain insight into their own sexual preferences and those of their partners. This knowledge fosters greater self-awareness and acceptance, leading to more fulfilling and communicative sexual relationships. Embracing the diversity of fetishes can also enhance sexual exploration and intimacy, providing new avenues for connection and pleasure. Integrating fantasies and fetishes in relationships, building trust and connection. Introduction: integrating fantasies and fetishes into a relationship can enhance intimacy, trust, and sexual satisfaction. This chapter explores the importance of open communication and mutual consent when discussing and exploring these desires with a partner. By fostering a safe and respectful environment, couples can deepen their connection and enjoy a more fulfilling sexual relationship. Integrating fantasies and fetishes in relationships, building trust and connection. Open communication. Creating a safe space. Discussing fantasies and fetishes with a partner requires a safe, non-judgmental environment where both individuals feel comfortable sharing their desires. Honest discussions. Encourage open, honest discussions about each other's fantasies and fetishes. Use I statements to express personal feelings and desires without placing blame or judgment. Active listening. Practice active listening by giving full attention, acknowledging the partner's feelings, and responding with empathy and understanding. Building intimacy and trust. Sharing intimate desires can strengthen the emotional bond and trust between partners. Vulnerability and trust. Being vulnerable and open about one's fantasies and fetishes can build trust, as it shows a willingness to share deeply personal aspects of oneself. Reinforcing connection. Open communication about fantasies can reinforce the connection, making both partners feel more understood and accepted. Mutual consent. Establishing boundaries. Both partners should clearly establish boundaries to ensure that the exploration of fantasies and fetishes is comfortable and consensual. Clear guidelines. Discuss and agree on what is acceptable and what is off-limits. Set clear guidelines to respect each other's limits and preferences. Safe words. Introduce safe words to use if either partner feels uncomfortable or wants to stop an activity. This ensures that both partners feel secure and respected. Ensuring comfort and respect. Consent is crucial when exploring fantasies and fetishes to ensure that both partners feel respected and comfortable. Mutual agreement. Both partners must agree to participate in any activity involving fantasies or fetishes. Consent should be enthusiastic and ongoing, with the understanding that either partner can withdraw consent at any time. Checking in. Regularly check in with each other during and after exploring fantasies to ensure that both partners are comfortable and enjoying the experience. Conclusion: integrating fantasies and fetishes into a relationship can greatly enhance intimacy and sexual satisfaction, provided that open communication and mutual consent are prioritized. By creating a safe space for honest discussions and establishing clear boundaries and safe words, couples can explore their desires in a way that is respectful and fulfilling for both partners. This approach not only deepens the emotional and sexual connection but also fosters a more trusting and supportive relationship,